This is tutorial 2 of an introduction to Autodesk Inventor and building the wheel for your SumoBot. So I basically started with a cylinder here. You can see it, and if I hold the shift key down, I can rotate, and the center mouse button I can rotate around. Okay, and what I want to do is I'm going to add an axle, and you can see I'm on the back here, so I know that this is the back, and I'm going to click on it and highlight it in blue. Now what I'm going to do is add the part in. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the 3D model. I'm going to click on our sketch, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to zoom in really quite close because the part I'm going to do is quite small, and you can see I've got all my drawing tools, and I'm going to go to polygon, and under polygon I'm going to put an 8-sided polygon, and what I want to do is match up to the axle that your gearbox that you're going to eventually get is going to do. So again, I click on the center, I click, and oops, I got to click on here, and when I click on it, it's kind of up there. Why is it disappearing on me? So let's just zoom out a tiny bit, and there we go. For some reason it just zoomed on me. So, and I've actually clicked this one here, which is a circumscribe, and what it does is lets me go on the axes. So I'm going to just do this and click anywhere. There's my part, click done, and again in Autodesk Inventor what I want to do is actually dimension it. So I'm going to dimension it right away, and I know that the distance from here, if I do that, it dimensions one thing, but if I go across and touch the next one, it'll dimension across it. Put this dimension down here, and I know that this number here is 0.11 of an inch. You can see how small it gets. Okay, so that is now my axle hole, and I better have done that right for you. And then I just click Finish Sketch. Okay, so there's my axle hole now. And I'm going to shift and drag it, and this you can see is the back, right, because it's the back of the wheel. And I'm now going to basically extrude it. So I'm going to click extrude, and you can see what happens here, and I'm going to zoom in. You can see that it's grayed there and it's grayed there now, and what's happening is Autodesk Inventor is saying, look, do you want to extrude based off of this, or do you want to extrude based off of the whole inside? And I want to do the inside. So I click on it so it's gray here, and then now you can see when I hold the shift key down, there's my extrude. Now I can take this, again, the arrow, go in and out, right? What am I doing here? If I hold this here, am I going to remove material, right? Cut, am I going to join? I want to cut material, and so I'm going to take this and just drag it in. You can see now there's a hole being created. How deep am I going? I don't know, let's go 0.5 of an inch in. Okay, to make it a set distance. And again, do I want it? Yeah, I want it this time direction 2. I don't want it symmetrical or anything. Okay, so that's kind of how we do that. And click on OK, and there's my hole. Now, how deep did I really go in relation to the whole thing? You can't really tell. So sometimes you can just come up to View, and you go again to View Style, and you go to Wireframe. Okay, and now you can actually see the thing inside there, right? Okay, so there it is. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to start getting different extrudes and things happening, 1, 2, 3, and you can click on them, you can highlight them, see what happens here. And I'm just going to go back to shaded because I personally like it. And I'm going to actually rename these. So this, I'm just going to double click, and I'm going to call this one the outside diameter. Okay, and the next one here, I'm just going to double click, and I'm going to call it the axle hole. Right, this way it just kind of helps you name parts so you know what each part is quickly for reference, because later on you actually start moving things around and they change orders, and it might mess you up a bit. So there's that. I've got my kind of things set there. If I want to go in and edit the axle hole, obviously I can just come up here and double click and go, no, I really wanted it 0.4 deep, right? And then I just hit OK, and it would actually change it. Okay, and you can again click on it, you can see, highlight, you can see stuff. So I'm going to stop at this one. That is a very short tutorial, and we'll go into tutorial 3 where we're going to start cutting different things out of this wheel some more. And that concludes tutorial 2.